Namaskar and welcome to this exciting episode of Sattology, debunking mythology. Sattology means science of truth or study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology, which means science or study of fake, lie, or imagination. Sattology builds your identity, whereas mythology destroys your identity. Try using mythology on Islamism, Judaism, or Christianism, then you'll find the reaction, and you will yourself be shocked. Then why the natives of the world use the word mythology for their own history? Try that one time, and you'll find the actual response. So I have a very special guest with me. She's written a book on Hindu temples. Let's welcome Monidipa.
Thank you.
So welcome to the show. So I have one question is like, what is the importance of saffron flag on Hindu temples?
The saffron flag actually in a temple does not is not related to any god. It signifies the fire, the yagna. That is a very important part of the Vedic ceremony. The yagna, the fire, the square yagna, and the fire in it. That the saffron color is a symbolic of that yagna, the fire in the yagna and the flames. And since it stands for the flame color, it symbolizes purity and the divine strength of it. So when you see the saffron color on anybody or on the temple flags, you'll find two small triangles with a little golden border, and there's a om in the flags. It simply means it's a sacred spot, it's a yagna spot, it's a sacrifice, it's a place for sacrifice. Yagna was sacrifice. So where you put things into the lot of things used to be thrown into fire, sacrificial objects used to be thrown. So basically it just symbolizes sacrifice, it symbolizes purity, it symbolizes stands for the fire, the yagna fire. So basically that's the meaning. That's when you see a temple or a saffron flag, it means that. And otherwise it from that it comes to purity, divinity, and from that it's slowly become an important part of our lives also, since it's a part of the temple, and temple is very centered to the Hinduism, so it became a part of our life also. Saffron color denotes purity, fire, flames, and it is basically sacrifice. That's why we find in earlier times the kings also used to carry the saffron flag for this reason. It denotes sacrifice, it denotes divinity, it denotes purity. That is why we see this color flag on the top of the temple.
Krishna
It's
says
a
in Bhagavad Gita,
yes.
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that without lighting a fire, without doing
Mm.
karma, you cannot be called a sannyasi. Na chagni na chakriya. Na agni na chakriya.
Mm.
So Agni represents saffron. It's the same.
Yes, the
So how
flame.
can Agni is a devta, is important devta.
It is actually representing the sacrificial spot, because these temples are all seen as, when a devotee is building a temple, it is seen as he is offering a sacrifice to the god. So that site is a sacrificial site. When
So in the West, sacrifice means animal sacrifice, human
no,
sacrifice.
no, 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 no.
Let me explain
In
you. Let me complete
yes,
my
please
point.
explain the
Okay.
difference. Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Saffron sacrifice. See, English words when you start using for
Mm,
Hindu ceremonies, yagya.
mm, mm,
Yagya means karma, and
mm,
karma especially meant for your karma meant for yoga, karma meant for so yagya is also karma. Yagya means whether you do agni home, you do japa, there are many ways of doing yagya. And also you can perform your karma, that is also becomes yagya, because if you're doing it for the pleasure of yoga, for the purpose of yoga. So the your camera is shaking too much.
no, no, I moved. I was plugging in the charging plug. I moved.
So
Yes.
the question is that
Mm,
how can you separate that just a symbol? Like, see, when we go into symbolism, it destroys Sanatan Dharma. Because now you are just good teaching symbols with no meanings.
mm,
So
mm,
saffron has a very significant purpose. Like, for example, it denotes Agni.
mm,
Because Agni, without Agni, you cannot digest your food also.
mm, mm, mm,
Vaishwanaro. So we cannot do that. So So keeping that in mind, so why
Hmm.
is the saffron flag kept on top of the temple? What is the significance of that?
It shows it's a sacrifice. Again, I'm using that term because do you have any other word for it? A sacrifice.
I just said it, yagya.
Yeah, okay, I'll say that because it denotes the temple denotes a yaga site. A person who is building the temple is performing a yagna over there. So that site denotes a yagna. So that is why you see the flag over there. This site is sacred. This is a yagna site, and this is where a holy home yagna had taken place. It is the person who had built this temple had done a yagna. So it is a sacred. It basically means a sacred site. It's a place for divinity. It is a place for yagna. This is the meaning of that orange flag over there, the saffron flag over there.
And it's not really the color of orange also. Saffron is a
No,
different,
no, it's saffron is a different color.
it's a little bit reddish and then it's
Mm-hmm.
orange. And
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
So, so why do you think that people are opposing such a sacred symbol
mm,
where the the even the word sacred is not correct, but anyway, such a
mm,
pure symbol, because
mm,
without fire you cannot cook your food, you cannot even digest food, without,
uh,
you cannot do all those things. So such a sacred symbol, some people are
mm,
opposing it, especially from the Islamism communities.
mm,
So in UK we have seen that, that's how they attack the
uh,
temples. So
uh.
why do you think people misinterpret it in such ways to go violent against uh, these kind of communities who practice it? Because it is common across Native American cultures, common across the Native Europeans, common across Native South Americans, and common across India as well, the Native Indian. And if anybody has a problem, they should stop eating food, hot food from tomorrow onwards. They should eat the cold
Absolutely.
food. So,
Mm.
what is your point?
My point is that this, see, we have to understand one thing. Hinduism is the only ancient most religion that is surviving now. And this saffron color, which comes from yagna, is one of the most ancient religious elements, you can say. It is one of the most ancient aspect that is still continuing. The Hindus are the oldest religions that is still continuing. So basically, these two get related. So basically, saffron is now related to saffron, and Hinduism is the same. We do yagna during puja. We do yagna. Home yagna is an essential part of our puja. We do that. Then saffron color is owned by sadhus. You see them, they're wearing this color because it denotes divinity, it denotes purity. So the color has been taken by them. So Hinduism is now synonymous with saffron color. So basically, so whenever you see saffron, you remember Hinduism, and so the hatred comes out. Abrahamic is all about power and control. So they want the control of the entire world. Global Islam wants global caliphate. So, but this, what is this ancient religion Hinduism still doing around? And so finish it. So anything that is symbolic of Hinduism is to be brutally taken down. Saffron being the color which the sadhus especially wear. The anger is also against the Brahmins because they were priests. They are the ones who are carrying on with this Vedic culture. So the anger, if you see, notice how leftists hate the Brahmins. This hate Brahmin campaign, and since these priests mostly are of that class, this color saffron has created sort of hatred amongst these people. That whenever you see saffron, you want to pull it down because this stands for an ancient religion. This stands for paganism. This stands for it stands in a way of conquering the world. We cannot establish caliphate. We cannot have an Islamic state of India. And why? Because the Hindus are there. So the saffron color represents Hindus. So you just associate everything evil with this color. It's a
What
beautiful color. It's beautiful meaning, but it stands
what
for
what has the
Hinduism.
what has the color to do with any religion or anything? What is the color?
Color.
Because you walk on the green grass. I like green
Mhm,
color.
mhm,
You walk on the green grass, and sometimes Some of the Vishnu avatars are sometimes green in color,
Green
greenish
color,
color
yes.
they have. So they are, so color has nothing to do with it, but there is a more political reason for these kind of actions. And I do not write the word paganism because the pagan is a derogatory term given by the church to
Yes, very
ancient
much.
cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So I've written against it in many times, many places, because
Mm-hmm.
native cultures are not paganism. In fact, the European cultures are paganism, especially church-based cultures are paganism, because they actually follow Pashan. Pashan means a stone. Paganism means a
Mm-hmm.
stone culture. So
True.
they built so many churches with stone, so we can demolish them because that is not paganism. If you build any structure, it's a paganism. So
Mm-hmm.
but temples have a meaning to it. Temples have a geometry to it. Not
Yes.
all the temples nowadays, people spend so much money because it requires a lot of money to build a temple, but still it requires a lot of maintenance. There is a purpose behind it. The directions are connected to it. So, so the attacking the symbols of Hindus or connecting the saffron color to Hindus is a political motive for some other purpose which has to be dealt politically. It has
I
nothing
told
to
you,
do.
na, Islam is a political, it's more of a political. You see, Islam has its own judiciary, own governing bodies. So it's a political cult. It will give all these colors, it will associate saffron to Hinduism because it is trying to fight us politically. So, Hinduism now, as Hindus, we also have to deal with it politically because otherwise, I don't see a way out, because if we follow our don't fight them in the way they are fighting us, it's going to be very difficult. Islam is a, let us say Islam is a political body. It is going to take political steps to fight. It will associate, green color is now associated with Islam because they started putting green chadars. They somehow associated green with Islam. All the flags are now green flags. What they have done is put saffron to Hinduism. So it's a very political game that is going on. And if, God forbid, it never happens, if Islam takes over, it will remove democracy in a day because it has its own body ready to take over. It can replace a democracy or a monarchy overnight because it has its own body ready to take over. So what is it? It's a political body. Now we also have to fight it back politically. Otherwise, it's very difficult to fight back Islam. The way they have indoctrinated young minds and the way they fight you should if you on Twitter, I'm sure you are on Twitter, if you see how this their people who are kept over there to fight, the way they take up topics and start narratives, it's a politically motivated body totally.
So there are many books have come out on this. There is one book
Mm-hmm.
by many friends have come out, like Maharanas, and beautiful books have been written.
Mm-hmm.
And those books, they literally put the historical facts out that Hindus have never been conquered. It is a history of the world. The fake history which is given by the Western and Indian left is not really left also. Indian left is anti-India. In Indian, there is no left in India because these are all, you can call it the terrorist sympathizers. They are called the
There are
terrorists.
all Islamists. I call them all Islamists.
But generally, see, the thing is, there are a lot of people who in the Muslim community also, they have a lot of love for India. There are a lot of military people from that community, Islamic community in India, who are doing a wonderful work. In fact, one of the prominent presidents of India, Abul Kalam Azad, was also an Islamic person, was a Muslim
Yes,
person.
very
So
much.
just
Yes.
all of them are not like that. There are few people like that.
Problem is that these good people are few and they don't have voices.
Yeah,
If they speak,
that's a problem in their community, but
uh-huh.
not with us because we have seen some good example. There are good military generals in
Mhm.
India who are
Of course,
who
yes.
are talking. The ASI general was
Mm.
KK Mohammed. He has
Mhm.
done a wonderful work for Ram Mandir.
Of course, of course,
And
yes.
in one of my shows earlier, he said the only religion which should be there in the world is Hinduism. KK Mohammed said it.
KK Mohammed is he is what the work he's done in Bateshwara Temple, Madhya Pradesh, Morena, is beyond. I don't think any Hindu could have done that. The way he's done the entire complex has been rebuilt stone by stone by KK Mohammed.
No,
Who will do this?
we cannot even say that Hindus could not have done it. Hindus have done much more than that.
That is also there, yes.
So anyone can do it. Anyone with a
Mhm.
sincere intention and
But he had to do a lot of fighting against the mafias, his own community. So he's done a great job over there.
Yeah, he's one of the books. So the coming back to your book and your research and everything, the
Mhm.
when we look at the temple architectures, it is very clear that the flag on the top is very important. It represents Agni, a place of yagya, and
Yes,
place where anybody can attend without ulterior motives.
yes.
Because you cannot participate in yagya with the ulterior motives. So
You have to be very pure. It's a sign of purity.
no, you become pure over there.
Mm.
So but if we talk about uh, the recent attacks against the temples, not like destroying the temples again in UK, that to so-called first world country or monarchy, whatever you call it.
Mhm.
The What does that symbolize of the country? Like, what does it speak about the country actually? Because the UK government is participating now.
Destroying a temple is a power game. When you destroy a temple, you show to those. See, when the Islamic invasions happened, they destroyed temples. One was religious purpose. You destroy a Kafir's temple. The other was political power play. Like, see, I am so powerful, I can destroy your temple. Your temple is very precious to you. I can destroy it. It's a message is being sent out that we can destroy your temples. It means we can destroy your gods. So basically we are more powerful than you. This is the message that is being given out to you. So be careful, be submissive. We are more powerful than you. When you destroy a place of worship, you send out that message that we are more powerful than your gods. We can destroy them at any moment. We are sending you a message that you better be submissive and listen to us. This is the message being sent out to the Hindus. And the message is being sent out because India is now politically becoming powerful in a global sense. It has its own voice, and people, other leaders are praising our PM, and then they know that India now has a big say. So basically, it's a threat to the Hindus.
I mean,
Subtle message is being given out.
by doing that, they are inviting. I mean, probably I don't know whether India will put sanctions out, but they're inviting the wrath of India as well because the trade deals are
Yes,
going to
of
get
course.
cancelled. So more
Mm-hmm.
poverty is going to come in. So the only occupation they'll have left is demolition squads. So
Yes,
wherever we want to
absolutely.
break something, we can invite them, put a flag on top,
Yes.
and they can come and break it.
Uh,
So the question is like now in when you analyze from the temple point of view, the temple entrance, temple windows, temple's backyard, temple's drains are all
mm-hmm.
planned out.
Everything is planned out.
I do not know whether they are doing that in UK or not. I do not know. I believe they are doing it because there are many people who follow Dharma. And also
Uh-huh.
the British Hindus have had a very good track record of being a very powerful body in UK. Very powerful. And they are the most organized non-resident Indian group in the world, Hindu group in the world. British Hindus. They have fought against everything properly through channels, and they have the say right till the top in the British Parliament. In fact, one of the recently there was a prime minister candidate who was defeated for something which was local politics to British. Nobody would like to have a person whose wife is still Indian citizen. So there are many reasons for his defeat. But Hindu politicians have a voice in the deep British Parliament, in the all sectors of British Parliament. In fact, Queen visited few years back a very famous Hindu temple in Watford, which is a big goshala. Also, there were around 70 cows over there, and she also opened a Hindu school called Sandipani School. And
Okay.
before she died, she had inaugurated that. So there is a big monarchy push towards, I mean, appreciating contribution of Hindus in USA, in UK. But I
Okay.
don't think so. The same is for their other community coming from Pakistan, mostly Pakistani British, that community. They have been not accepted warmly by many places. Like the Bradford, we all know, Birmingham, we all know that how backward they've become. So there is a conscious British politicians have a view, conscious view, that the Hindus are a progressive lot and Pakistanis, British are not progressive lot. They are the hooligans of the society. They know that. If you see the jails over there in UK, you will
Oh,
see
yes.
more Pakistanis jailed over there.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
Yes.
most of these people will also land up in jails. But now coming to the Hindu side of it, now we have as a Hindu community in UK, like I told you, very many of good friends are there, come on the channels many times, our channel, and they have very strongly played the card. The media and the police, the British Hindu community is shocked that the police was a mute spectator. In fact, it
Yes.
was the British police who started the riots by posing a misinformation by the Pakistani British
That
on the Twitter,
they kidnapped a girl, a
and
Muslim
something,
girl
and
was.
desecrated a mosque. That's what they
Hmm.
said, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And now the facts have all come out that they themselves had done it. They themselves desecrated their own mosque, and
Yes.
so these people have nothing to do with any spirituality. I'll say
No.
spirituality. I'll not say even religion here because
No.
they have nothing to do with anything. These are
Hmm.
so now, according to you, if you look at the Hindu temples architectures in the past, there used to be a big moat around the temple,
Yes.
difficult to come to the temple. All
That
the
was for the protection. Yes.
security
Yes.
measures were there.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So instead of complaining now, we know that hooligans are going to be there. What security things that Hindus can do to protect their temples in outside India? Now, within India, I can tell you, Rajasthan government, there is a temple called Hinglaj Mandir.
Hmm.
Rajasthan government gave it to Muslims or doesn't
Yes.
allow Hindus to perform puja. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
saying in India is even worse situation.
Worse situation.
But in UK, so what security measures that they can take to protect their temples?
The security measures, I will say, if you look at this old Chola temples, they had these walls running around them. The Chola temple and the Airavateshwara temple had 7 such walls. Matlab, when once you enter, you have to cross 7 gates. You don't need to make 7 gates, but at least build this walls around this temple. We call it prakara. The wall around the temple is known as prakara. Build prakara around the temple, 2 layers. Make it 2 layers so that it's not easy to go inside. And build on the top, build other protection like putting spikes or broken glasses on, but make those two what to say, the two prakara, so that the entrance is not easy, and make the entrance gate very with heavy doors so that it's not easy to break also. We have to make our own protection, and this is the way. Then build us, if you want to, I don't think moats will work now, but if you want, you can also make a moat to go around it. But besides the moat, the main thing, there should be 2 or 3 layers of walls protecting the main temple. The gates, the which in South India is known as Gopurams, they used to be huge ones. Make those gates very strong, make the doors very strong, thick wood or thick steel iron doors, so that it's not easy to break in. So make this protection, make those walls. The olden temples all had this layers of walls. Make those walls. These walls inside had rooms where people could stay, or the soldiers could stay. So make those rooms. People who are guarding can rest over there. The pilgrims who are coming can stay over there. So make use of those walls from inside also. If you see, just go and look at the Airavateshwara temple or the Brihadeshwara temple, you will find these walls all had beautiful rooms where the monks used to stay, the pilgrims could stay. So make it like that. Let the people who come visit can stay over there, make these rooms available. But build those walls. They give a very good protection to the main temple inside. So if you ask me for my advice, I'll say make these protections, make those 2 layers of walls, make very strong doors. Don't and let us also be saying that let us not be welcoming to everyone all the time, because I don't know, in India we face so much of problems, non-Hindus coming in and trying to desecrate a temple. So over here there's a call for not allowing non-Hindus inside Hindu temples. These days I kind of agree with it also, because let them not enter. If they have no respect for our gods, let people who don't have no respect for the gods enter those places also. But the main point is build those walls, build those 2 layers, 3 layers of walls to protect your temples. That is the best way you can save them.
The thing is, that's why the Jagannath temple has a system of asking for gotra. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly the reason why they have a system asking for gotra. So those of you who complain about the Jagannath temple asking for gotra should understand that what is
Why?
happening today has happened before also, and that's why
Yes.
there is a system asking gotra, and that is the right way to do it. If you are coming with
Yes.
ulterior motive,
Mm.
every Hindu temple has a right to reject entrance to the temple, and
Absolutely.
only see that's why I say it's a every temple is a yagna mandap, is
Yes.
a place for yagya. So
Yes.
only good people are invited to yagya. Not everybody is invited to yagya. Even the rakshas are not invited for yagya. So
Mm-hmm.
so so that is a ancient culture. So if you want to come
Yes.
to participate in yagya, then you must be with the proper intention and proper
Yes.
procedure. And
Yes.
if you try to destroy the yagya, just I'll tell you one thing: the karma for destroying a yagya is very bad, much
We
worse
have
than
seen
regular.
Rakshasas used to destroy. We have seen what happened.
And so, what happened to Rakshas now? You can see that question. All Rakshas were killed.
All of them were killed.
So there is no. So there's a result for that. Very strong result
Mm.
for that. But also brings to the question the current laws, global laws, where the protection. So most, if you look at the Abrahamic faith,
Mm.
Abrahamic faiths have always attacked native cultures.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. Always. Always.
Hindus are the natives of India. Hindu culture
Mm.
is the native culture of India,
Culture of India.
including Pakistan, including Bangladesh, Afghanistan. Hindu is the native culture, is the
Native culture.
original culture from which they have been converted, including
Mm.
Persia. Most of the Iran was Iraq, and all these people were native Hindus. So now, therefore, all the similarities are there. All similarities are there. So the question is, what are the laws to protect the native cultures of every land? Because if you look at South America, North America, everywhere native, like in North America, you won't find American government respecting any native religious site in 2022. In 2022, I'm saying this is the what is
Mm.
going on. So but we have a voice, they do not have a voice. At least we can, we are it's a organized community. Hindu community is still organized, better organized than Native Americans, but the natives of the world. So how, what are the laws do you think should be changed to protect, to maintain the sanctity of the temples?
I think the first law, I'm talking about India, basically keeping in mind, the first law that should be changed is that government should be out of the temple administration, because the money is siphoned off. In India, temple money goes to the maintenance of madrasas and churches and all. This is absolutely not done. So the government, all the central government, the state government should be out of this temple administration. It can stay there as a consultant and to look over whether everything is functioning or not, but it has to go out of the body. Temple will, the government body will be of the Hindus only. The temple administration should be only by the Hindus, and they should be taking charge of everything in the temple. This is one law I think which has to be changed. The government has to. This secularism, it doesn't mean only for Hindus. You are not interfering in the running of mosques. You are not interfering in the running of churches. Then why are you interfering in the running of temples? You So the secularism is not only meant for Hindus. Only Hindus don't have the duty to be secular, while the others are following their own religion. That is not what a secular state stands for. Secular state stands for, if the Western meaning of secularism is taken in, it was adopted from the secularism word was never there in India. India was always multi-plural culture. The word secularism came from the Western world when the constitution was made. If you see in that sense, the church, the word means that state is separate from the church. But where are you separating the state from the temple over here? No, you're not. You are separate. You are not interfering with in the Muslims matters. You're not interfering in the Christians matters. But you are interfering in the Hindu temple matter. Why? You're not supposed to do it. You move out from the Hindu temple. Let them form their own bodies. Let the Hindus form their own bodies and take care of the temples like it was earlier before. What you can do is you can, maybe if you think that people are complaining too much about the pandas being really, they can create problems for the common poor people, then you just take care of that matter, but don't go into administration and siphon of the funds for maintaining other religious bodies. India should, will have to do this, remove the government from, either you take over all everybody, you interfere in mosques and churches, or you don't interfere in anything. You don't interfere in the temples also, and move out of it. This is the first law which needs to be changed. Second is that we need to, since this is a Hindu majority nation, we need to install Hindu gods in our institutions, in educational institutions. I have heard of stories where people have removed Hindu gods from those places. This Abrahamics have entered as the head of those institutions and removed murtis from there. No, this is a Hindu majority nation. Murtis will be there. You cannot remove them. So these things you have to basically, if people don't listen, then you have to make laws so that the Indic culture is respected. This has to be done. You cannot disrespect a Indic culture. People just think it's okay to make fun of our gods and all. No, no more. Either you make fun of all the religions or you don't make fun of any religion, because what they have done is they have turned Hinduism into a joke, but they will never make fun of the Islam and Christians. This is not happening. This is not secularism. You have to, if necessary, make laws to protect ourselves, because Hindus need protection now. We need protection. We need laws to protect us now. So make these laws. Make sure that Hindu gods are not made fun of. So these are the basic laws for our protection. Then bring back, make laws to bring back certain of the old cultural heritage back. This is very important. We have lost a lot of our cultural heritage thanks to the left that took over from the 70s. Bring those back. So, the most important law is move out from the temple administration. Let the Hindus take care of their own things.
This has been a long-standing demand. The British controlled it, and very surprisingly, Mughals did not control it. The reason was that Mughals did not control it because they never ruled India.
Yeah.
There's no way they could control it. Also, they never ruled. They ruled the forts where they were.
Yes.
And so they could not. But the British controlled the temples because they knew how to stop the temples so that the Christianity can be spread very clearly.
Yes.
That's the main reason. And still today, the Indian laws, they protect, they are not meant for the protecting the temples. Still the Indian laws. And also the history is that most of the temples were left unmaintained, unattractive.
Yes.
And very few modifications were made so that people can approach them. So that the people will be hesitant to go to temples. So that's how the game was played against Hindus, that make it so unattractive, unclean, so that nobody would like to visit.
Nobody will go.
And that has become, people when they go to the temple, they think 20 times, it is so unclean, why to go there. But if you look at the history of Dwapar Yuga and before Yugas, Treta Yuga, and especially Dwapar Yuga, where the big temples were constructed, and also early parts of Kali Yuga, also big temples were constructed. The temples approach, temples location, temples cleanliness was a lot of money the state used to spend. Today is a condition where the state takes money from the temple. It is very pitiable.
It's a horrible state. They are taking money, and from what I'm hearing, they are maintaining madrasas and churches. What is this? Is what is going on?
So come back. I know your thoughts where are going to. The thing is, when the money is given for yagna, and it is not used for that yagna, then that destroys bad karma to the state. The state gets destroyed. So I'll give you an example. Aurangzeb attacked Vrindavan in 1705, just 2 years before his death.
Yeah.
And in 2 years after that, Aurangzeb was killed in Maharashtra. 2 years only. Only 2 years he survived. So terrorist has a lifespan of only 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So once you commit the last big terror act and you get destroyed, that is the story of all other Islamic invaders who have, like, there is a beautiful temple of Srinagar, is a Sri Mandir. Sri Mandir was Srinagar. That's why the Srinagar Lakshmi temple is the Lakshmi Narayan Mandir in the center. Very old temple from Mahabharata times. The mention is that the temple was established by one of the soldiers in the Pandavas army. It's not Mahabharata text actually. It is a much later text which I read recently. It may not be true, may be true. I don't know. But the thing is, anyone who attacked the temple got destroyed.
That's right.
Anyone. So the
Mm-hmm.
point is and the modern governments like Hyderabad government, which is run by Jagan Reddy, now
Mm-hmm.
they are regularly extracting money from Tirupati temple.
Yes,
And
yes.
for the concept is the karma, because people are giving it for their karma. So all the karma which they burnt over there by giving their
Mm.
karma in the yagya is now
Mm.
coming on to that government.
Yes.
So anyone who uses that money is not going to survive. It's not going to
Survive for
help them.
long.
Yeah.
Mm.
So so this karma consciousness is not there because we have forgotten all these things. We think, oh, this is all superstition. But look at the historical records. Like the Mughal dynasty got finished after attacking Vrindavan, and after that, they were today nobody knows whether they're driving rickshaw or something. So it's all gone, and that is the karma associated with it, which people don't realize. And
Mm.
also we have a very classical case of Ram Janmabhoomi, which is come back again, come back because it's a place of yagya. So,
Yes.
and whosoever used that money,
Mm.
including Kohinoor diamond.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Kohinoor was used for Bhadrakali, and Gam Durga
Bhadrakali.
is going on. So
Yes.
Bhadrakali. Now, as soon as Kohinoor was taken from that year onwards,
It's cursed.
it's not that diamond is not cursed.
No, the
It's a
person who
karma.
uses it takes it. Yes.
Yeah, it is meant for Devi. It is not meant
Yes.
for others.
Not meant for the human beings. Yes.
It's
Absolutely.
meant for Devi and meant for the
Yes.
because somebody offered it with love.
Yes.
So
Yes.
their karma is connected to that. So anyone who
Yes.
will have it will always have downfall.
A
So
death, horrible deaths they have had.
yeah, means the karmic downfall will
Mm.
always have, and you can see the British society. I'm not sounding to be superstitious, but I've written a book on karma, so I can say how karma
Mm.
is acting. So the
Mm.
the point is, my last question of series is that
Huh.
why this important aspect of karma getting
Mm.
lost on Hindus as well as other. I can ask more questions to Hindus than others because we are
Mm.
taught this knowledge. Others don't believe in it. That is
Don't believe in
foolishly
it.
don't believe in it. We use the word karma, but foolishly don't believe. Like the majority of the Muslims in America or Christians in America or Jews in America, if you ask them about karma, they said yes, karma is important. So they are accepting one part of the Sanatan Dharma philosophy. So why we have not made that sound logic of karma getting associated to the temple? People burn their karma over there by doing yagya, by doing japa. So that place becomes is even that's why it is more sacred also because people can burn their karma over there. Why this spiritual aspect we have not highlighted yet?
But see, I'll tell you one thing. While I was writing about this temple architecture in my book, one thing I've realized is that the meaning of the temple, why a temple is being, that it is a sacred spot where yagna is going on, that very meaning is lost. People don't know the meaning of a Hindu temple. So obviously, so all this concept that you can burn your karma over there, and even the meaning of the saffron flag, nobody knows. They just go to a temple, offer the prayers, and goes out. They don't know why they're going to the temple, the meaning of the temple, or the sculptures outside the temple, the flag on the top of the temple. Nobody knows the meaning. They just go and walk in, offer prayers, and come out. That is why I don't believe in karma and all these things have come up. This atheism, this is not atheism. This is fake atheism basically. So this has been created post independence among the Hindus basically. Hindus were the target, so that they get uprooted from the religion and culture. once you are uprooted, then you are losing your culture. It is easy to convert. It is easy to destroy Hinduism. That was the main motive. That is why you find Hindus are more disconnected from their religion, because they have been brainwashed that way. We don't know the meaning of temples. Why? Because we have not, those temple architecture, the meaning of vastu, everything has not been taught to us in the school days. These basic things should have been taught in our textbooks, but we are not taught anymore. When we have lost, we don't read these books. We have lost interest in them. Nobody talks about them, so we don't know the meaning of the temple. We don't know why we are going to a temple. We just know we are going offering puja and coming out for our own benefit, but we don't know the meaning of the temple. We don't know the meaning of anything over there. So we are basically, what has happened with Hinduism is that a section of the Hindus have been turned into leftists, and that has done a lot of damage to us. And what the left further has done is they have sort of cut off the rest of the Hindus from the roots. That has really, really damaged a lot for us. We need to get back to our roots. We need to understand our Hinduism right where we stopped. Or post independence, we were cut off slowly, slowly, slowly. They started hacking into our roots. We have to go back to our roots. That's the only way we can save ourselves now.
Thank you so much. We and with that message, we'll end this show. And thank you all the viewers for watching. We do have to connect. We have to learn about our culture more than ever. That's why I write my books, and she's written my books. My 12th book came out on the meditation, transcending the mind. Do check it out. And Monidipa's book also, you should check it out and see what she's written on the temple architecture. It's time for us to learn our own culture better, so that you can know why you are defending it, why we have to
Absolutely.
defend it. And I can tell you, many millions of American Hindus who are not born in India. There are millions of Hindus who are not born in India. They follow the Hindu culture. In Brazil, I have been to, and I'm going to multiple countries, South America. They are following the Hindu culture, even though they have never visited India. In Mexico, they have, all of them have concerns about their native places of worship, because they all feel gradually that their native cultures were all Hindu before in the past, including in the USA. So we all have to, it's a collective heritage, not just it's a responsibility of Hindus, it's a responsibility of American government, it's a responsibility of the British government, it is the responsibility of the European governments to protect their native cultures. And it is purely because if you want to really call yourself tolerant, or you call yourself a civilized state, then you cannot have these uncivilized acts go on against other people's faith, culture, and their religions. With that, namaste and thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.